Oh, it was good chat. Today we're about to talk about something that popped up on my feed a lot and something that just really bothered me in a little way, right? So of lately, a lot of people have been talking about Virgil Abloh and a lot of the stuff he was doing, his influence, and even if he was really just a designer at all. And there's really been like a negative connotation in a lot of the videos about this topic. So today I really just wanted to solve the whole issue and actually go through the facts and really talk about if Virgil is really a fraud. As always, if you're new here, like, subscribe, and if you already been here, tell someone else to like and subscribe. Share the video. I'm gonna catch ya. Born on September 30th in 1980 in Rockford, Illinois, to two Ghanaian parents, Virgil Abloh grew up with the love of skating, the love for graffiti. In a lot of Virgil's interviews, when they ask him what was his earlier access to fashion and art, he gives it to his experience with skating and graffiti. This is where Virgil Abloh gets his streetwear background. Growing up in a Ghanaian African household, the idea of you just not going to college is non-existent, including the fact of you also going to college and not really going for engineer, doctor, and maybe a few other things is completely off the table. Knowing this, Virgil went to college for civil engineering, and he transferred to ITT and gained his bachelor's in architecture. Key point, architecture is really where Virgil draws a lot of his structure for his work. He says that him going to school and becoming an architect is probably some of the best things he did in his life. A funny story about Virgil is that the way he got his first job into the actual clothing business is that when he first started printing shirts and he sent a tech pack to one of the manufacturers. Manufacturers were so impressed with how good his tech pack was that they damn near just offered him a job. How's that? That's really cool. Going on through Virgil's life, he went on and did a lot of many things that gained him the notoriety within his space. The biggest jump for Virgil's career came when he met Kanye. Virgil literally missed his final pinup for architecture, and I'm an architecture student, and that is extremely important. You don't miss the final, because your teacher can literally just fail you right there and then. But he did it just to meet Kanye. And honestly, who would blame him? It was Kanye. Virgil became Kanye's right-hand man, became his Swiss Army knife, being able to do a lot of things, from music to album design to just clothes and merch design. Notable things that Virgil has worked on is a lot of Kanye's albums, from Yeezus to Watch the Throne to even My Beautiful Twisted Fantasy.
First rule in this world, baby, don't pay attention to anything you see in the news.
The peak of itself, unless you're Danny Fantano, it's like a 7. But this wasn't enough for the two, especially Kanye. We all know Kanye's a hungry man, and if he wants something, he's gonna find each and every way to get it. Virgil and Kanye and a few other associates took it to the next level, and they literally became interns for a fashion house, having their internship at Fendi, and they weren't excused at all. They were full-on interns. They got paid, which is a little stretch for an intern. Well, back then, maybe not now, but they were actually interns going and running to grab coffee and stuff like that. Getting into a lot of the more bigger projects outside of Kanye, Virgil being a DJ group that Virgil Abloh was in, there's a lot of iconic pieces that they've actually put out as just merch, and it just became a big staple into fashion at the time. The Free Social shirt, that was Ben Trill. I still want that shirt. Another big project, and I think this is really where people key on the start for the fashion takeoff of Virgil, is Pyrex Vision. From notable fashion celebrities from A$AP Rocky to Kanye literally rocking it all the time and being seen in it by paparazzi all the time. But Pyrex Vision was just the start for Virgil. He wanted more. And this is where we get Off-White. Off-White being a notable streetwear fashion house, Virgil used Off-White as this platform to extend himself to his new heights. When Off-White first hit the ground, everyone wanted it. From bright yellow text on the back of your shirt to just small little belts that are made of what? Like a string? I don't know. The need to have a tag on your shoe became the newest rave. And if you cut someone's tag off their Off-White shoes, they would have killed you. They probably would have, you would have fought. With Off-White, I seriously believe that Virgil set himself as an actual contender to be a great designer within the space. Not just a streetwear designer, but someone who can actually grow and lead a strong fashion house. And this leads up to Virgil Abloh becoming the menswear creative director for Louis Vuitton, the first African American to ever be the creative director of a major fashion house. And this is really important because this is actually what him and Kanye and a lot of their group really wanted to do: break into fashion, head forward, and not really like taking shortcuts. It's not that they couldn't participate in fashion. No one was stopping them. It's just they wanted to be taken seriously. But in this time, Virgil Abloh accomplished a lot. And he showed that you as a black American, you as anyone to be honest, can do a lot of things. And he literally listed it. He has websites just for you to go out and see what he approves of, what he doesn't approve of, what he would suggest to you, what even just to start a clothing brand. To be honest, he has it. There's a website for it. It's been out for years. A few things people like to say about Virgil's work across his stunts at different things. His work is flat, one-dimensional. His 3% rule is just another way to get out of plagiarism. And generally with his on-site feud with Kanye. And to be honest, as a Kanye fan, Virgil and Kanye's relationship can be summed up in two characters: Griffith and Guts. And you'll see why later. People that say that Virgil Abloh's work is one-dimensional, to me, isn't really looking at the full picture of who Virgil is and a lot of his work. I think they're just picking up what he did at Pyrex Vision and what he did commercially for Off-White, and just using that as a basis to just judge all his work. Especially with the infant nature of Pyrex Vision. Pyrex Vision, and when you really look at the full picture for Virgil, wasn't really a complete version of what he wanted it to be. Honestly, you can even say Pyrex Vision was just a trial run for some small points and design ideas and just general marketing for Virgil's empire. Even when you look at Off-White, outside of Louis Vuitton, Off-White being the largest conglomerate of work that we have, collection, not conglomerate. I'm trying to use big words. I can see where you're trying to point at when you're saying that his work is one-dimensional, but you're not really looking at the full picture of Off-White. A lot of the Off-White that people are very tuned into, or at least noticed, is a lot of the commercial stuff that Virgil did with Off-White. A lot of the commercial key points and key stuff like the letters and quotes, stuff like that. The big sideways stripes, little things like that. These key motifs that Virgil has within his work in Off-White, and not even just at Off-White, he brings it onto Louis Vuitton, he brings it just all over the place. But they're not the full idea of Virgil's world, or Virgil's design. Go look at a lot of the Off-White runways and the stuff that Virgil himself has actually put his hands on. You can see an actual design language that he consistently brings on, he consistently works and twists and uses. Of course, he has his things that he plays with, but he's not one-dimensional, or his work isn't flat because he can sell a good t-shirt. And to be honest, the bigger you want to get in fashion, the more you have to understand that you're still gonna have to sell a lot of these more commercial ideas. Stuff that you can feed to the general public instead of the people that are just going there for just the complex design and thought process and stuff like that. And if you want to penalize Virgil for that, you're gonna have to penalize a lot of other designers. A lot of your favorite designers, Virgil's 3% rule. So what Virgil's 3% rule really is that Virgil said that if you take an item or a product and you change it 3%, just by 3%, then you can essentially just create a brand new product, essentially, that you can sell as its own individual thing. The reason why people use what Virgil said as a way to demean him is that now we have a bunch of, I'm not gonna say anyone, I'm not gonna put anyone on blast. No disrespect to those people. If you're making your money, go ahead. If you love design, go ahead, ball out. But now we have a lot of people that are thinking that that's the full extent of design. That's the full extent of fashion. What they're doing is taking that 3% rule and applying it to everything. And I mean everything. And it gets to the point where there's so many people applying the same percentage that you're just getting the same thing over and 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 over again. So because of that, people are saying that Virgil is just another plagiarizer, or he just started a new wave of people plagiarizing, because people don't know how to do research. When you actually look on when and what the context was when Virgil actually said that, you will find out that he was having a talk at a university, and he was talking about his collabs with Nike.
This is an Air Force One.
Specifically, his Air Force One. Virgil saying that the Air Force One is perfect, essentially, and probably one of the most iconic shoes in the world. I would say too. I would say the Air Force One is probably top 10 most iconic, no, top 5 most iconic and noticeable silhouette ever created. Virgil's 3% rule isn't just to take anything that you see and just flip it 3% and then cool calm. Virgil is actually saying taking account of the effect that that same silhouette or that item has on people and how familiar people are with that item. Using the 3% rule is very tedious. Just because it's a 3% rule doesn't mean you use 3% of your brain to use it. I even saw someone trying to say that Virgil's 3% rule is actually a 6% rule and he's trying to like gatekeep. What the hell are you talking about? Like what? No, like the overall just on the basis like your application of the 3% rule is different than what Virgil was trying to do. And now you're trying to say it's a 6% rule and say that Virgil Abloh was like gatekeeping. Just say you made a 6% rule and you're thinking it should be a 6% rule. Don't tie Virgil's name onto it and be like, oh no, he's trying to gatekeep. That's so weird. But again, people just misconstruing what Virgil said or the context of actually what he meant by his 3% rule. It's not his fault. It's other people's fault because the internet is open. The internet is free. Go look at what he's saying instead of some person on the internet just saying, Virgil just said the 3% rule and you can just go out and just do this and do that. Like, no, bro. No. Let's actually have good design out here. Last part. The feud with Kanye. It's not really a feud because sadly Virgil is passed by now and he can't really say anything back. Randomly on a random day like Kanye loves to randomly do, Kanye went on a route talking about a lot of people and the way he just genuinely feels. Sometimes it's cool, it's good, sometimes it's left field. Kanye went on a rant about Virgil and he seemed very, very, very mad about Virgil's position at Louis Vuitton. And yeah, cool, you can make a case for Kanye feeling like that. Virgil was like his brother, his right-hand man, and turns around and essentially takes the job that you've always wanted. Not takes, but he essentially gains the position that you always wanted, that you were striving for. Kanye was the Louis Vuitton Don.
Hey world, as you can see, I'm in Paris chilling and I don't know the name of that champagne. It just came with the room.
If you know anything about Kanye and Louis Vuitton, they had a collab shoe. And those shoes are a grail for a lot of people, a grail for me. And they damn near sold out in minutes. The thing is that when you actually look at Kanye's perspective, you can get why he's mad. This is why I say Virgil Abloh and Kanye's relationship is like Griffith and Guts. I can low-key make this a whole another video and be like Virgil Abloh and Kanye, the new Griffith and Gus, but I'm gonna just use it as an example for now. Virgil joining Kanye's Band of the Hawk was probably the best thing for both worlds. Virgil brought a lot to his group and was a very large, vital part of the group. But in his leave, being him taking, him taking the spot at Louis Vuitton was essentially the breaking point from Kanye's mental and also for the character Griffith. And Kanye essentially dissing Virgil was him pretty much activating his his bailiff, essentially. Yeah, it honestly is. But the only difference is that sadly Virgil isn't here to see it. In the context of Berserks, that's lucky. In the Berserk world, if you're not there to see an eclipse, you're kind of doing good. When Griffith betrays Guts and the Band of the Hawk, Guts was there to go back and scrummage and look for him and revenge. Virgil isn't with us no more. So it kind of looks like Kanye is punching down at him. And with the case that he has, a lot of people is taking his side. And essentially, I feel like this is the epicenter on Virgil's hate, to be honest. Because I feel like it was from this point on and people misconstruing both sides, honestly. Because we only get to hear one side. And no one else in fashion is really going to talk about it, or at least inside of it are really going to talk about what actually went down, because who cares about giving us context? We're the parasocial people online. We're just going to buy the clothes. Fashion Roadman had a good point about this. Like, you can understand where Kanye is coming from, but he's still wrong. The position at Louis Vuitton wasn't Kanye's to lose. But at the end of the day, Virgil Abloh isn't a bad designer. He isn't flat. His designs aren't bad. Y'all just not looking at the right things. Come on, bro. And there we go. That's the end of the video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming this far. I don't know why I did that. If you like the video, I got other videos. Go check that out. Especially Yap Sessions. I got a lot of other Yap Sessions that I'm talking about fashion and other stuff. I also got vlogs on this channel if you want to look at my life and see the dumb stuff and see the clothes that I put on and the clothes that I'm trying to make and just stuff I do as a college student, architecture student, whatever, teach his own vibes. If you like this video and you just wanted to say something, leave something in the comments. It's always nice to read the comments and see what y'all think about what I said, because I like talking about myself and the stuff that I said. Always like, subscribe, and yeah, have a great day. Hope you have a great day. I hope we have a great day, because I still got to go out to school and I got a class that I'm late for. So yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all. Deuces.